Hey space fans, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a grand tour of our solar system's two biggest celebrities, Jupiter and Saturn. We all know them, the gas giants, the titans ruling the outer solar system. But how well do we really know them? Let's put them head to head and see what makes each of them so special. First up, let's talk size. Jupiter is the undisputed king. It's so massive that you could fit all the other planets in our solar system inside it, with room to spare. It's about 318 times more massive than Earth. Saturn, while still a giant, is the runner-up. It's about 95 times the mass of Earth. So, if they were on a cosmic seesaw, Jupiter would send Saturn flying. Diameter-wise, Jupiter stretches about 143,000 kilometers across, while Saturn measures up at around 120,500 kilometers. To put that in perspective, if Jupiter were a basketball, Saturn would be a slightly smaller volleyball, and Earth would be just a tiny marble. So, round one for sheer size and mass goes to Jupiter. No contest. Now, let's talk about what makes Saturn so iconic: its rings. When you think of Saturn, you immediately picture those breathtaking, glorious rings. They are the most extensive and spectacular ring system of any planet in our solar system. Made mostly of ice particles with a little bit of rocky debris and dust, they stretch out for thousands of kilometers, but are surprisingly thin, in most places less than a kilometer thick. It's like a giant cosmic vinyl record. But here's a fun fact. Jupiter has rings too. Bet you didn't know that. They're just very faint and difficult to see. Discovered by the Voyager 1 spacecraft in 1979, Jupiter's rings are mostly made of dust kicked up from its inner moons by micrometeorite impacts. They're nowhere near as magnificent as Saturn's. So if we're judging based on planetary bling, Saturn wins this round hands down. Let's move on to their appearance. Jupiter is famous for its distinct bands of clouds and, of course, the Great Red Spot. This spot is a gigantic storm, wider than our entire planet, that has been raging for at least 350 years. The vibrant colors we see, the oranges, reds, and browns, are the result of complex chemistry happening in its atmosphere, with different compounds reacting to sunlight. It's a turbulent, chaotic, and incredibly beautiful world. Saturn, on the other hand, is a bit more subdued. It has similar bands and storms, but they're less distinct. Its overall color is a paler, buttery yellow. This is because a thicker haze layer higher up in its atmosphere obscures the more colorful cloud layers below it. It might not be as flashy as Jupiter, but there's an elegant, serene beauty to Saturn's muted tones. So, for visual drama, Jupiter takes the prize, but for classic elegance, it's all Saturn. What about moons? This is a battle that keeps getting updated. For a long time, Jupiter held the title for the most moons. It boasts the four famous Galilean moons: Io, the volcanic moon; Europa, with its potential subsurface ocean; Ganymede, the largest moon in the solar system, bigger than the planet Mercury, and Callisto, the heavily cratered ice ball. These are worlds in their own right, each a fascinating destination for future exploration. But recently, astronomers have been discovering a ton of new, smaller moons around Saturn, and it has officially overtaken Jupiter in the moon count. As of now, Saturn has the most known moons in our solar system. This includes the massive Titan, the only moon with a thick atmosphere and liquid lakes on its surface, and Enceladus, which shoots geysers of water ice into space from a hidden ocean. So, while Jupiter's moons might be more famous as a group, Saturn currently wears the crown for the sheer number of natural satellites. Let's talk about rotation and orbits. Both planets spin incredibly fast. A day on Jupiter is just under 10 hours long, the shortest of any planet. This rapid spin causes it to bulge at the equator and flatten at the poles. A day on Saturn is just a little bit longer, at about 10.7 hours. Imagine a day being over before you've even finished your work. Their years, however, are a different story. Being much farther from the Sun, their orbits are huge. Jupiter takes about 12 Earth years to complete one trip around the Sun. Saturn, being even farther out, takes a whopping 29.5 Earth years. That means if you were 30 years old on Earth, you'd just be celebrating your first birthday on Saturn. What are they made of? Both are gas giants, meaning they don't have a solid surface you could stand on. If you tried, you'd just sink into their atmospheres. They are composed primarily of the two lightest elements, hydrogen and helium, the same stuff our Sun is made of. Deep inside, the immense pressure is thought to squeeze the hydrogen into a liquid metallic state. And at their very centers, scientists believe there might be a small, dense core of rock and ice, maybe about the size of Earth. One really cool thing about Saturn is its density. It's the least dense planet in our solar system. In fact, its average density is less than that of water. This leads to a famous thought experiment. If you could find a bathtub big enough, Saturn would float. Jupiter, being much more compressed by its own gravity, is significantly denser than Saturn. So, in the cosmic bathtub, Jupiter would sink like a stone. Let's look at the storms. We mentioned Jupiter's Great Red Spot, but that's just the beginning. Its entire atmosphere is a swirling canvas of cyclones and anticyclones. Some storms can be as big as our moon and last for years. The winds on Jupiter can reach speeds of over 600 kilometers per hour. That's faster than the strongest hurricanes on Earth. Saturn is no slouch in the weather department either. It has some of the fastest winds in the solar system, reaching up to 1,800 kilometers per hour near its equator. That's mind-blowingly fast. It also has massive storms, sometimes called Great White Spots, that appear roughly every 30 years and can grow to encircle the entire planet. And at Saturn's North Pole, there's a bizarre six-sided jet stream known as the hexagon. It's a stable, geometric storm pattern wider than two Earths, and scientists are still working to understand exactly how it forms and maintains its shape. It's one of the true mysteries of the solar system. So, who is the ultimate giant? Jupiter is the brute, the king of size, mass, and raw power. It's a dynamic, colorful, and violent world that commands the solar system. Saturn is the beauty queen, the elegant one with the stunning rings and mysterious features like the hexagon and its moon Titan. It's more subtle, but just as fascinating. Choosing a better planet is impossible. They are both incredible worlds that teach us so much about how planetary systems form and evolve. Jupiter's immense gravity shaped the solar system we see today, while Saturn's rings and moons offer tantalizing clues about the building blocks of life and planetary formation. Which giant do you find more fascinating? The stormy king, Jupiter, or the ringed jewel, Saturn? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I love reading what you all think. Thanks for joining me on this tour of the Titans. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more cosmic wonders, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. See you in the next video.